Charles Termini, what's going on, dude? Happy belated birthday to you, man. I don't mean the Eagles bird, like the turkey bird, but happy belated to you, bro. How's the family, man? See that young and ready to knock some people out now? I know he's got to be ready. Looks ready. Looks sharp. Throwing them jabs and them hooks. Make sure he knows that Philly hook. Get with Bernard Hopkins so he can get that Philly hook. Good to see you, though, man. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Hey y'all, what's going on? This is your man Sabir Lima. Welcome to another episode of Daddy's Right Here Live. I'm your host as always, Sabir Alim, and as always, I'm late, right? I'm sitting here watching the games and forgetting that the games used to go off at 6 o'clock, and then something else came on, and I'm in that mode. So I said the show will be at 6 o'clock, and I'll go ahead and go live from there. Uh, yeah, when you retire, you don't keep up with time. Time just you just use it as you're exposed to it, and you just keep on going. So I'm a little behind schedule. I'm trying to get a set time. You got to kind of juggle things like the wife is at work in the morning on Sundays, and then I got the 3-year-old and the 9-year old is pretty much out of the way. But when you get a 9-year-old and a 3-year-old together, it's just chaos. It's like watching one of those like Housewives of Istanbul or something like that. Whatever it is, it's always chaos with them too. Um, so then I was going to do it earlier, so on and so forth. So I just need to go back to Sundays like I used to. Go back to Sundays at 9 o'clock when I was doing the Wise View and Side Spot and the other shows. Go back to that time because by the time Saturday evening hits, man, I'm shot out because I've done so much through the course of the day. So we're on 6 different stores right now at aleemforyou.net. Yeah, I'm so excited, man. That's why you see these bags under my eyes. So we're now on Amazon. You can look for our stuff on Amazon. We're on Facebook Shop, uh, Instagram Shop. We're on Shop if you've ever shopped on Shop. Um, where else? Going to finish up TikTok. So we're not going to capture much of the uh, income, intended income for Christmas, but we can put Valentine's Day stuff out there. Y'all like spending money. We want your money. We want you to come and spend your money with us. So that's where a lot of my labor has been going in, trying to get on Amazon and these other very important uh, platforms. All of them are important. Zero is always zero. So anytime you can get one, that's advancement. But we're looking at um, some other stuff right now. But yeah, we finally have gotten on Amazon, man. That's been like you just don't understand how uh, important getting on Amazon to be a seller on Amazon is for us. Yes, it's been a long time coming, and we're getting there. Um, but yeah, back in 1980, I think it was around 87, I started reading some books, very important books, the ISIS papers. That's when I actually read the Torah. Yeah, the 5 books of Moses. I started reading that, and there was a host of other books. Most of them were centered on um the secrets of our society. Yeah, started reading about the different signs and symbols that we see. in the world, the hidden signs, the signs that are hidden in plain sight, and the ones that are hidden underground. I started reading some things about self empowerment and, getting better as a human being. I just didn't. I was going somewhere, and what didn't feel like it was where I wanted to go, and I went anyway. But that was around 1987. 85, I was pretty much starting off my addiction to cocaine. Yeah, I was sold cocaine and smoked it, snorted it, the whole party animal thing. I was, in my early 20s, and I was just having a damn good time. So that was in 85. So by the time 87 came, I was like in full blown monster mode. I was just a damn animal on the street, on the block, up and down the block. How many shouting out the tape color, all that stuff. I was all in, and that's not where I wanted to be. I didn't fight it. I wasn't resistant to what was happening. I was going with it. But internally, my spirit, I was just like getting tired of it. And I made a decision that I wanted to do something different. So I started reading all these different books, learning about me, learning about being black in America, learning, what it means to be black. And I started, just reading a lot. I was searching, man. I was searching so hard to find a different way of living. I had already been exposed to Catholicism, uh, the whole Jehovah Witness experience, the whole Christianity experience. I was never looking for religion. Religion was not something that I was looking for. That's actually mentioned in one of my songs. I never sought religion. I'm not of the lost and found. I'm searching for the path to peace, finding man's ills abound. Right? So, and I had already had an experience when I was 5 or 4 years old. That is an unforgettable one. I had contact with an angel. Yeah. I was in a very distraught condition as a child that young. Domestic violence was going on all around me. My father at that time was an alcoholic. My father is now deceased. He was murdered in 2004. But as a child, I had already had the connection. Didn't understand it, but there was something that I felt differently uh, about inside of me. And I've had trials and tribulations throughout life where I should have been dead. 12 gauge shotgun in my face, about 4 feet away from me. A major car accident when my car went off of 95 in Philly, upside down, rolled through a creek upside down for maybe about 100 yards, flipped, and ultimately wound up in a tree about 18 feet off of the ground. And if you see the car, it was like a bubble was around me. Um, but 1987 is when I was really on this internal search for peace. I had driven myself nuts long enough, and I just wanted some peace. Started selling drugs early on. I was like 13. I was selling black beauties, Christmas trees, pink ladies, other speed pills. I was at the party selling Lucy's, the blue light parties. I was DJing. I was in what I thought was hustle mode. I didn't know I was in self destruct mode. I didn't know any of that. But listened to a lot of Minister Farrakhan. Wasn't in total agreement then nor now. But I loved the brother for what he gave to me because the first time that I went to hear him speak live, it was 1988. Uh, Cousin's boyfriend took me to the Civic Center I always wanted to hear Minister Farrakhan. I'd rather go hear Minister Farrakhan than see Earth, Wind, and Fire. That's how important it was for me. Needless to say, I finally had an opportunity to go see Minister Farrakhan. And if you don't know, Minister Farrakhan being the representative in charge, the leader of the Nation of Islam. So I went to hear him 1988 Civic Center. I'll never forget how long I stood in that line and how I got inside and they do their usual research. And they made me give up a whole damn fresh pack of Newports. Yeah, you can't take no cigarettes in there. No, but and they just taking me, just tossing them over to the side. I'm standing looking at my Newport. At that point, now I was trying to decide: do I want my cigarettes back and just leave, or do I want to hear the minister? So I went in, listened to the minister, and listen, I cried like a baby at some point during his speech. Man, I started thinking about myself and seeing who I had become, and like that's not what I should be doing as a man, as a son, as a father. You know, I that's just not where I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be doing something else. And then at some point, I go ahead back upstairs. You go ahead back upstairs. I'm recording, Sabria. Bye. Um, and then at some point, I began to read more intensely. Started reading the Quran because I at some point began to learn the difference between the practices of the Nation of Islam and the religion of Al Islam. I was getting high, man, and reading Quran. I was trying to find a way. Everybody has their testimony and their perspectives on religion. My talk tonight is about whether uh, about the the disagreements, the conflicts, the controversies, all that. You have taken on a religion. Why? What has changed? I mean, think about it for a minute. What has changed about your life since taking on a religion? I'm 65 years old. You understand what I'm saying? So we done went from 1988. This is 2025. I'm 65 years old. I embrace the religion of Al Islam and not the nation because it's a different narrative, whole different, right? Beneficial, but I'm not in agreement with the divide of any people, regardless of what my circumstances, the circumstances of my ancestors have been. I've never been groomed that way. I've never been raised to hate any color. I've been conditioned to hate the nonsense. And most of my life, the nonsense has come from those who look like me. So let's get that clear. My house was robbed 4 times living in the projects in South Philadelphia. All of them look like me. The 12 gauge shotgun that was in my face. The person on the other end of it looked like me. Saw me every day. Looked like me. And the list goes on. We didn't get raised with that old hatred stuff, right? And I'm not teaching mine that. But one of the things that I often ask people is if you didn't have religion, do you think that your life would be better or worse? Right? Because the whole purpose of all of this should be to make for a better world. 65 years, I've seen the world worsen. I've seen everything that has been written within Scripture, right? Quran, Bible, varied versions of the Bible. I've seen the world worsen. I've seen sects. sects. Islam. This sect believes that it is going to be out of 99, that there will only be one sect that is the true sect. Just think about that. You got 99 sects that give honor and praise to the Creator, but only one of them will be the true sect. Where does that even make sense? But that's the narrative push. So they fight to be the one sect. You see all the sects of Christianity. You go back to the Christian Crusaders. You go back to the burning of a cross by the Klan. You go back to the White House. You go back to your criminal justice environments where everybody keeps talking about in God we trust. As a Muslim, I was taught, I bear witness there's but one God worthy of worshiping. That is God Himself. Right? What that means is that there are, in fact, other gods, but there's but one worthy of worshiping. If you are truly learned, you know that there is only one, no matter what you practice. You've been convinced that Allah is a God different than God, not understanding language. Allah means God in Arabic. It's no God but God Himself. But when you are convinced, when people are persistent with wanting you to embrace their narratives, they're going to convince you that what you're doing is other than what they're doing. They want to throw things out to you like, well, we're not equally yoked. What does that mean? That we both have to share the same thought. Most don't know, many don't know, that there's a difference between the nation of Islam and the religion of Al-Islam. What we see here in America today is we have all of these people here in America, North America, who want to embrace the religion of Al-Islam based on the Middle Eastern perspective, where all of their perspectives on the religion are laden with culture. So you put on the kufi, you put on the Izar, you put on the Jalabir, you put on the fake Arabic, right? You put it all on. Meanwhile, they're escaping from their own countries to come here because of Sharia and all other kind of impositions upon them of cultural expectations. And they're coming from there, coming here to the land of milk and honey, bringing that nonsense here. You know, especially if you're black, that if you've entered into a masjid that was Arabic led, that was led by a Middle Easterner, you know they didn't want to send it. And you see what's happening in the world today. But that's a whole nother show to talk about, right? Not today. So you saw the influx of something that was important to you. But you didn't see how you went against your own people, the very people who wiped your little nasty ass, your nasty behind nose, who put food in your stomach, who housed you, who clothed you, who loved you. Those very people who you went against, because they were called Kafirs. That's what they're called in Islam. Right? You saw all of that. You saw how the Christians burned down the homes of so many blacks, destroyed their own. You see it today. You see all these vicious, hateful people, right, who all throw up symbols and signs of divide. So how can life have changed? How can you continue to embrace any religion when you have seen the hell that it has brought upon earth itself? Because you want to defend it. You want to sit down and have the conversation that, nah, not in Christianity. Nah, not in Judaism. Nah, and so on and so forth. All of them have brought nothing but hell to earth. And you know it. You know it. And you still continue to be a part of it. Why? Why? You sit down, right, amongst other people, and you make a decision as to who you want to gravitate toward. But in the same breath, say, well, what would Jesus do? Well, what would he do? Who did he sit at the table with? Who? Come on now. You want to have a conversation? Let's have the conversation. Nothing has improved in this world. Nothing has improved in this life. Nothing. You've convinced yourself that religion is so damn important that you will defend wrong. You will defend wrong. When you hear the true story, that which they want us to believe is the truth, who did Jesus sit at the table with? At what point in time did Jesus become religion? Why would we not be following what he followed? Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Everybody keeps bringing up his wife, Aisha, her age. People justify such by saying, well, different countries permit. Would you allow somebody to have sex and marry your 9-year-old daughter? Your 10-year-old daughter? Hell, we have a problem when she's 21. Letting her get married to somebody. But you don't want to have that conversation. You don't want to talk about King James's background. You don't want to talk about the wrong in what it is that you practice. It's been about 5 years now since I decided to abandon religion and just live on spirituality. I always have. I have all the evidence in the world as to what direction my life was going in without religion. Without religion. I don't need anybody following behind me. Well, brother, no, your foot, you got to turn your foot. No, your toe has to be this way. No, well, Allah won't accept that prayer, brother. No, well, you didn't. No, you didn't. You can't. Oh, no, brother, no, you can't. And you have all these people who walk around and follow you and tell you, oh, well, no, that's dawah. We're supposed to do that. See, when you don't do something wrong, we get barakats for correcting your incorrectness, brother. Well, sister so-and-so, did you know you're not supposed to wear? And we have to. But we all God's children, brother. But you got to come this way. The fortunate or most unfortunate aspect of all of this is when you stand before God in judgment, you stand by your damn self. You can't call little boo-boo, Miss Mary, nobody like that. Just speak up for me because, they're getting ready to send me to this. I don't belong there. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You know why you belong there? Because you chose to embrace something that is cult-like. It's cult-like, right? You follow all these commands that you say that you have found for yourself through theological studies and through your own readings. You have found for yourself that this is the way it's supposed to be when you know damn right well it ain't. Anytime you come away from something that leaves you with more questions than answers, there's a problem. Now, I'm not saying to you that there's no benefit, but I'm saying when the bad outweighs the good, come on, do the math. Do the math. There's so many things that show you. Hey, hold it. I'll be quiet. You want to be quiet. Jeez. So you have to. I'm recording. You got to go. You have to start looking at why is it you think that is so important that you stick with something that you know is really invalid. We've seen none of these people. We found none of these people. There's no nothing of any of these people, right? But let's go with it. Let's ride with it, right? Everybody keeps talking about this example, right? This example. Let's talk about the first example. What was it that Adam was going through in the place that he was in, aka the garden? Was him and Eve the only ones, right? And Satan, the whisperer, were they the only ones? There were others. Well, how long was Satan there? Right? But get ye all down from here. I want you to follow me for a minute. Because all of you profess learned people, people who have taken studies on theology, you've taken studies and have also learned of other religions. So how can you be so naive to walk away from being learned on theological studies when that means that other religions exist and its purpose was supposed to do what? But then you come out of there and you choose one because that's the life we live in. Pick one, right? Pick a side, right? You choose one and then you seemingly admonish the other when its existence and its benefit for its time was clearly spelled out to you. But you go in another direction. You admonish them. We're not equally yoked. What does that mean? Equal yoked. You understand? So how would you know whether we are equally yoked unless you know who I am as a person? Unless you are with me on hands and knees. Unless you see my life from a clear lens and not from a biased lens, because you can't see me through a clear lens if you're biased with your practice. People ask the question is if Minister Farrakhan is really a true Muslim because he recites scripture from the Bible so much. Well, the Quran, your own Quran, Muslims, says that we believe in Allah, his books, his angels, his messengers, and the afterlife. What are his books? Okay. So my point is everybody is practicing something and don't really know what you're practicing because you're regurgitating what the pastor is saying. You're regurgitating what the minister is saying. You can't stand up and defend what it is that you practice because you ain't studying for yourself. Because if you were studying for yourself, you would no longer be a practicer, truth be told. And again, I'm not anti anything. I'm just telling you why I took the position to not to continue to practice religion. It's more stressful when you practice in a religion because people have expectations of you. Yeah, in your presence. And when you're not around, they're doing their own thing, right? I'm not saying that that's wrong. I'm saying to you, don't say that this is what you practice and you don't. Because religion has now become commercial. It's tied into politics. This is how so many of us get drawn into getting the vote out for Democrats. This is how so many of us have been convinced that being a Republican, a black Republican, is taboo, right? And that's supported by a whole lot of other people. And people have come to the point in life where they think they have the damn right to admonish you from the human race simply because you don't believe what they believe. And again, is that part of being equally yoked too? Or is that just the okey doke? Right? Let's have that debate. Let's have that debate. I'm no theologian, but I'm a human being who understands human behavior, who understands science and the relationship you see between science, which is inclusive of psychology, right? The astrology, everything in this earth we're attached to in some capacity. I'll have the conversation with you. I'll have the debate with you. But before you come with it, make sure you sit down and you're true to that which you profess to practice before you come having a conversation with me. Because that's where I'm going first. We're not going to have a debate about what's written in a book. Our debate is going to be focused on human behavior. If God didn't want those people in that place, and those same people are our lineage who sprung forth from their loins, brothers and sisters and nieces and nephews, not 3 and 4, 5 removed. Let's talk. Let's really talk. Mankind came through Eve's loins, according to what's written, right? So Adam and Eve, two different people, had sex, created children, and hell, we know what happened to one of them. Hell, Cain murdered Abel. Damn, you thought it was going to get better? Did you really think it was going to get better? If you listen to what it is that you're reading, are you reading it? Are you just sitting and saying, yeah, amen? Are you really hearing what's being said? That is mankind's condition. That's mankind's condition. See, you don't even know and understand your own condition as a human being. And then you want to delve into a practice that takes you further away from who you are because it convinces you to be this way. And you can't be this way until you understand why you're that way, which begin in the beginning. The very ones who disrespected God's house, the place they were in. It wasn't like Adam disrespected the devil. The devil felt disrespected because God told him he needed to bow down. Like, well, wait a minute. I'm created from such and such. And we have the same, listen, we have the same thing here. Oh, I'm better than because I'm Christian. Oh, I'm first generation. I'm well, no me. We the Baptists and we this and then we got the Muslims over here. Nah, we the 5%ers and we the real. Y'all arguing over who's what and don't even see what you're missing in your own teachings. There's no debate. My religion with God is personal. Religion makes it a group thing, a congregation, an ummah. Now, our lives don't improve because of the congregation. Our lives don't improve because of the size of the ummah. Hell, we violate everybody else anytime we feel like it on Fridays. We got masjids planted in people's communities. Little corner storefront. We take up every damn parking spot in that community. Ain't gave out a damn turkey. Ever. Don't walk through the communities. Do you need to eat? Miss Mary, do you need to go to the store? We got some brothers here who ain't doing nothing with themselves, and they no, no. You see recording artists and athletes out there giving away turkeys in the community, right? Retired mobsters giving out turkeys in the community. And y'all sit the hell around and talk about them. Or look at him. He giving out turkeys. He probably got drugs and some of them too. Yeah. Uh-huh. While you sitting on your ass and ain't did nothing. Nothing. We got mega churches so damn big, 20, 30,000 people can fit inside of them. I might be, a little extreme in the numbers, but it's y'all know it. Filling up everybody's parking space. People go to the market. People go drop off their kids, to the parents' house or this, that, and the other. And they come home and they don't have any place to park. You don't go to the house and be apologetic for any of that. You don't do nothing. Y'all just take up the spaces because everybody don't want to park in that parking lot because they want to get the hell out of there, right? So they go park in one of the non-Christian parking spaces, the non-Muslim parking spaces. Yeah, people got the double park next to your car. Yeah, you come out after service to somebody's double park, you stand in the middle of the street dialing 911, hooping and howling and cussing. Damn, you just came out of the spot, didn't you? Yeah, but where are your principles then? Where are your loving Christian, Muslim, Catholic, Jewish values there? Where are they? Huh? Oh, you forgot. Or you'll just ask for forgiveness. No care for another. You want to practice that? Is that what you really want to practice? That it's okay to take the parking spots of people who live in the community where you decided to plant this humongous religious institution, and you don't even come out on Saturdays, and you don't come outside and get the graffiti off the wall. You don't clean the pavements. You don't walk up and down the block and participate in the Saturday morning cleanups that you do. You don't even know who lives anywhere. You don't even know any of those things. But this is what you choose to practice. Are we going to be against all the Christians? Yeah, we're going to be against all the Muslims. Yeah, we going no, we don't like the Catholics. No, we don't like the Jewish people. No, well, and then, you attach all these other negative things to them and so on and so forth. It ain't none of your damn business. So how has the world changed? Think about it. How has the world changed? How has your life really changed? Think about it. God was taking care of you and looking out for you long before you even could conceptualize how to spell the word, before you could even learn how to say the first letter. He was there. Why is religion important? Why have you made it important? You're lonely? You need a bunch of people around you to tell you how the hell to live your life? Huh? It's a question. You know the answer. I'm just asking the question. It's just like we have all this medication. How many cures have we had? They don't want to cure us. They don't want us cured. They don't want us cured. Oh, well, who's the they you talking about? The ones who remain hidden, but walk around in plain sight amongst us, so they can see how foolish we are, to see how much we have eaten of the forbidden fruit. They still do the same thing. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. The divide is real, and we just vacillate back and forth between who we hate, who we don't hate, who we love, who we shouldn't love. Meanwhile, we got a president who just released that what the drug kingpin. In the meanwhile, blowing up boats. You are bringing drugs, and you let this person out, and you really think they're gonna do what? Oh, you gonna put them back in if they don't abide by this deal? We gonna put you back in, or we gonna blow you up too? Nah, come on. You look at all these things. So now you done went from one extreme, oh, we're getting rid of the boats coming, to another one. He just let out the kingpin. So when I made the decision to title this soon to be released album Gods in a Man's World, eyebrows arch. People like, nah, what you talking about? Because you still don't understand your own humanity. Your own books have told you what you represent in his likeness, in his image. He done already told you in those books who you are. But you rather wait for a man to come back and don't even know who you are. There's one who came with a message. That person came with a message. You turned him into a religion. This other person came with a message. He's still the messenger. So one, it has become God because you said that he's God, and he never said to you that he's God. You got another who came with a message, the unlettered one, the one who can't read, can't write, but had the word inscribed upon his heart. But he's the messenger, the final messenger. Out of all the messengers, one became God. I sure as hell not going to honor the Son when there's the Father who is the higher than, the greater than. Why would I be going to the Son unless I intend to burn? Because that's all happens when you gravitate to get close to the Son. But that's another show that we'll have at another time. But you done already been told who you are. You just not reading. Look at what man has done to this world. Just look. Look at what man continues to do to this world. When's the last time you ate seeded fruit? When's the last time you looked at the veins in the chicken? When is the last time that you saw that there was no blood in your chicken breast? There was just these rubberized like veins, that the machines pump life into them. When is the last time or when is the first time? Have you ever tasted well water? Have you ever tasted water from a running creek before the animals, did thinking that it's the flavor for you? Huh? When you hear this album, when it drops 12, 25, 25, Gods in a Man's World, you'll hopefully get a better understanding. We keep talking about religion like it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. It was the worst thing since Pharaoh. Because all it did was convince you, as long as you follow this way, you can only go this way to get to paradise. I had evidence before religion that I was watched over, that I was looked at, that he had his hands on me. I don't need religion. And I chose and choose not to follow religion anymore. But the question is asked of you. The question is asked of you. Where's your evidence? I don't need it. Where's your evidence that since you made a decision to embrace a religion, where's your evidence that your life has improved? Also ask yourself about the things that happened in your life that you walked through before religion. And ask yourself again, where's the evidence that religion has made my life better? You're not supposed to hang around certain people. If you practice this, you're not supposed to be around these other people. You know that, but you do it anyway. Why? How can something that's supposed to be based in the foundation of loving others, of love, respect, high morals, how do these things teach you to stay away from other people who are not equally yoked? Aren't those the people you want? Hell, the devil even knows that. He ain't on some separate path. He got them. He's on the same path of the righteous. Don't know that? You think he travels a separate path? Why would he do that? They're already over there. I'm on the same path with you because I know what you want. I know what you like. I know what you need. He's trying to prove a point. Did y'all miss that too? He asks, grant me respite. Excuse me. And I'll show you. And I will show you. They are undeserving. They are undeserving of that which you bestow upon these people. They're selfish. They're heartless. They're spineless. They would sell their own mothers out. I'll show you. He, Adam, should be bowing to me. Look at what Adam has given us. And Eve, look at what they've given us. Yeah. So, first cousin, what that? Siblings, first cousins, siblings, first cousins, siblings, first cousins, siblings, first cousins, siblings, first cousins. Neglect, disrespect, disobedience, all that came from those who were told to get down from here. You and we live our lives being treated the same way, even within the sect of your own religion. Yeah. Now we the Christians. Now we the Muslims. Y'all don't. Yeah, the Jedi mind trick. But listen, it's a question that you have to answer. I can easily dispute everything in every book. There's no evidence of anything. Listen to what I'm saying to you. There is no evidence of the existence of anything that's in any of these books. No existence. But they found the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Got, got the pyramids. We get Tutankhamun. Did we? Pharaoh. Have we found Pharaoh? Where is everything? There's no mention of any dinosaurs. Somebody got a response to that, I'm sure. Nothing can be found. No graves, no nothing. All this information that was given to all of these people, none of these people who they got the information from are alive. None of the people who they got the information from, none of the people who got the information. None of those people exist. Then they bring forth this person. Well, this person was the 55th cousin of the Prophet Muhammad. And no, I'm not. I'm not making mockery at all. I'm simply telling you that none of this makes sense. It's just like the what is it? The methodology that was given to by a slave master on how to control the black slave. Right? A person don't even exist, never existed, but it was passed around like truth. I can't. The name of it just escapes me at the moment, but it was in the film Malcolm X. About this slave master who wrote this whole theory out of how to control the black slave. That person never existed. I did the research paper uh, on that person. The name just escapes me at the moment. But you got evidence, man, where this stuff has not done anything better. You see us getting further and further away from one another. The divide has widened, it's deepened. The hate between people because of the religious practices has gotten worse. But you practice something that's supposed to be spiritual in nature? Really? Really? Oh, don't get me wrong. I love hearing a good word every now and then. It's like any other book that you read that has good information. Yeah. I like tapping my feet to some good old spiritual music. Yeah, absolutely. Get your heart rolling. Yeah, I love God too. I love Jesus too. Yeah, I do. Yeah. Still don't stop me from asking questions. Y'all don't want to be asked questions. Y'all want to be offended. You want to become confrontational and don't see where that's a problem in itself. The so called righteous of them all, the most self righteous of them all. Y'all don't want to have that conversation. You want to keep acting like, nah, that ain't me. Yeah, religious people are some of the most hateful people and don't want to take a look at it. Mean, spiteful, vengeful people because somebody don't practice or they challenge and question what it is you choose to practice. It's a question. Why are you getting so upset? You can't answer the question. Just say you can't answer the question. It's okay to say, that's a good point. I'm not really sure about that. But running to ask somebody else to answer it for you ain't going to be the right answer either. When do you read for yourself and say, you know what? Nah, this ain't, it still ain't making sense. I was taught as a Muslim, it's just the Quran, the Hadith, all the other stuff you want to add, that ain't the Quran. The Quran is the Quran. And it is guidance. Period. That's what I was taught as a Muslim. I was taught to read and get a understanding that's befitting for your soul, not somebody else's. Ain't nobody gonna be standing there with you. You can't. Oh well, Imam so and so told me this, that, and the other. But did you read for yourself? No, no, God. I just didn't you making me, ma'am? No, this is somebody who went through just like anybody else who takes on the career. They went through certain studies. They went through certain channels, and they themselves in that position. You put them in the position higher than they deserve. They're just a man or a woman. We don't want to talk about that because even the woman was excluded from Christianity from being able to be a pastor. So that's a whole nother set. So it's a whole lot of things that just don't make any damn sense. Eve was created to be Adam's helper. Why would you not have her on the list of prophets? Didn't she bring message to the man? But she's to be excluded. She should sit there and shut him out. Matter of fact, no, it's the truth. Like, why are there so many different variations? And how do you follow a man who is known to be a pervert, who had no significance whatsoever to understanding the message of God? It's just like putting a businessman, a talk show host, into a damn office of presidency of the highest seat in the land of the United States. Damn, people. But anywho, listen, I'm your host as always, Shabir Aline. Thank you so much for tuning in. Uh, I'm changing the time. It's permanent now, forever and ever and ever and ever. Sundays, we're back to Sundays for the rest of my life. Every Sunday, 9 a.m. Daddy's Right Here Live will be right here live. Always on YouTube because that's my Sabir Alim educational station. It's over 500, probably nearly 600 videos by now. Different subject matter. Listen, agree or disagree. Doesn't matter to me. How does your life improve? What improvements do you need to make in your life? Has somebody else tried to tell you to have the same conversation that I'm having tonight with you? Your wife, your husband, your children? Have they attempted to have the same conversation? What's been the outcome? Has that outcome divided the two of you? And that makes sense to you. If it's dividing you, it's conquering you. If it's conquering you, it's defeating that other person. Is that what you want? So check out the video. It's a lot to talk about on there. You can pop one in, invite some other couples over, invite some family. I mean, that's only if you're ready. See, everybody's not ready for this. Everybody's not ready to have these conversations. Everybody's not ready to confront these things within their life. Everybody's just not ready. You just might not be ready. If you're thin skinned, that ain't the channel you want to go to. That's not the channel you want to go to. But if you want to be free from you, because it's you who's holding you hostage in most ways, regardless of the things that have happened in your life. At some point in time, you have to let it go. At some point in time, you have to move on. We all got stuff. Yeah, we do. We all got stuff. I'm your host, as always, Shabirling. Make sure you check out our website, alimforyou.net, right, where you can get a hold of some of the best merchandise on the planet, right? We're fine tuning our brand. Uh, we do tumblers, home decor, apparel, and all those things like that. We're fine tuning things down, building the brand to be specific to things. We are not a t-shirt print company. Let me be clear on that. So before you get your feelings hurt, before you start trying to bash us, we don't do this and we don't do that. We are not a t-shirt making company. We are designers. We design merchandise. We have regular t-shirts, but we also have t-shirts that our designs go on to that will not be found in other stores. Yeah, will not be found in other stores. You're doing a family reunion, we design the shirt. If you just want a tree with everybody's name all in and stuff like that, just go somewhere else with that. If you want a designed tree and you want images of their faces and their pictures and things like that, and if you want something that's intricate, that's a work of art, you want to give us a call. We're designers. That's what we do. We design wallpaper. Yeah. And we design wallpaper. You want to switch up your bathroom? Tell us what you're looking for. We design wallpaper. You want to switch up your office? Got a baby coming? What? We can take care of that. Yeah, we can take care of that. Got a girls trip planned? Want some windbreaker type jackets? All over print, looking real good? Yeah. Scarves? Got that for you. We design stuff. That's what we do. We design stuff. We don't personalize your name on a scarf and say, okay, this is the Barber girls, the Barbie girls. We're all wearing. No, the scarf itself is designed. Make sure you check out my music, as I was talking about earlier. Gods in a Man's World is the title of my next release, which is going to be done by 12 25 25. I got 18 more days to make sure it's done, ready to go. About six of those songs are already done, so pretty close to mixing and mastering all of them. But make sure you check it out. Make sure you check it out. If you haven't heard any of my music, I don't know what you're missing. If you're still stuck on mumble rap, that's probably why. Because you can hear every word I say. You don't want to hear those things. Yeah. You want to hear the other stuff. I'm a happy person. What is, I forgot the name of the song. Comedian did it real well. But that's, you don't, you might not be ready for that either. But anywho, I am your man, Shabir Alim. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. You can be doing anything else on a Sunday night to listen to my mouth. I'm going to get back to football, right? Thank you for your support. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for just hitting a little thing on, yeah, hey, what's going on? Gifts, flowers, roses, diamonds, all those things. Thank you so much. Listen, we just want to help people move forward, move through some things, get off the sticky path, be happy, fulfill your life, your purpose. Y'all have a great day.